The difference with the Knicks and the circus, all right, there's not much. The difference, though, is as a kid, you always wanted to go back to the circus.
Yes.
You never wanted the performance to end.
Yes.
Unlike the Knicks, where they're not playing until next Friday. If they didn't come back again next year, I don't think we'd miss them.
No. I mean, it is entertaining.
Oh, you're not going to start this crap again. Would you stop this nonsense? This is your go-to line. They lose to the Thunder the other night. Collective age is 20.2 months.
But
it was entertaining.
Is it not entertaining
No.
to watch them get these big leads and then know in the back of your mind, you just know it. They're up 28 last night.
I know, man.
And it's just, all right, the Nets just don't have it tonight. It is a great win. It's going to happen. But then somewhere in the window into the third quarter, you just start to say, that lead went to 11. It got the single digits for a second there. What's going on here? This thing going to pull back away, and then once it gets tight, you know they're losing. You just know they're losing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even. I mean, entertaining is the only word I can think of
You gotta find the nuance. You're gonna drive me nuts with that.
makes it sound positive.
What's
but
positive?
It's morbidly entertaining.
What word did I just write down? What word does that say?
Morbid.
Yes. I was about to write morbid curiosity.
Yes, it's not
That's
curiosity.
Why you watch.
It's not curiosity.
No, it is, though. That's why you watch. Like when they're down 11 and it dwindles, there's this morbid curiosity how they will figure out a way to flush it down the drain yet
honestly,
again.
last night, BT, I was wondering how I was going to say, wow, they actually hung on and won this one. That's what in my mind I was thinking. I was like, they're going to actually hold on and win this one. I know they're playing like crap, but they knocked down a couple shots at the end. They're going to hang on and win this one. And it's going to, maybe we're changing the narrative. Yeah, but then we obviously know what happened. They don't hang on and win.
And I find myself, because we had baseball practice last night for the 7U team, so I'm obviously one of the coaches. So we were doing that early. I got home. I recorded St. John's. By the way, great win by Rutgers. We were just talking with Jerry about that in the update. Really nice win for St. John's. Seton Hall almost pulled it off. So I had a lot of basketball to catch up from or with when I got home. And I watched the end of the St. John's game, and then I obviously put on the Knicks. And yeah, I mean, when they were rolling early and they were up 25, 26, 28.
How was that not entertaining?
Well, that part was.
That's what I mean.
No, that part was. But honestly, as the game went on, and I did something I'd never do when the Knicks play the Nets. I watched the Yes broadcast. I watched the Nets broadcast. I just wanted to hear something different. And I don't know the guy's name doing the game, so I forget. Oh, man. But I'll tell you, I liked his style. He had really good energy, some good punctuating calls with Cam Thomas, who was great. Point being, though, as I'm watching this unfold, I'm trying to delineate in my own mind in real time, do I want a win or do I want a loss? And I was conflicted because, number one, it's the Nets. So you always want, from a Knicks, you always want to beat the Nets. But then I'm saying, all right, listen, even if they squeeze into the 12th spot, there's probably value in playing a play-in game. Barrett, he'll be back, young kids, blah, blah, blah. But then the more I thought about this, and Ian O'Connor wrote a very good piece in the Post yesterday where it would almost be better not to even make the play-in because it will more fully illuminate how far they have to go to ownership and management.
Yeah.
Whereas if you make the play-in, if you win, it kind of obscures some fatal issues with this team.
Well,
I was confused, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I guess that's the short
how
way
could
of
you be
saying
anything but confused? And again, we got to tip our cap to the Nets.
Yeah,
because
that's
the
true.
Nets easily could have laid down in this game, and Cam Thomas and who was spectacular, Seth Curry. I mean, what did he make? 6 of his 8 3-point, whatever it was. All he's doing was making 3-pointers. So they scored when they had to. So you got to give credit to the Nets because it would have been easy for them to just bow out of this game, but they just kept fighting their way back, and eventually you could feel the momentum just flip. And the Knicks had one of these unexplainable quarters again in the second half.
They're fully explainable. No point guard.
Well,
we explain it every game.
But BT,
yes,
we talked about this the last really couple of games that they've lost like this. They get into the third and fourth quarters and they want to play in the half court, and I don't understand it. Right? It's unexplainable why you do something so well for most of the game. You're running up and down the court. You're playing with pace. You're getting open looks because you're sharing the basketball. And then you get into a more stable point in the game, and you're like, all right, we're just going to play in the half court now. It's what I mean? It's almost like the prevent defense in the NFL, where you have a big lead, and you're like, let's just not mess this thing up. When, in fact, the thing that you're doing is actually messing it up by not being aggressive and doing what you did to start the game. And this is why Coach Thibodeau, when we had a caller yesterday talk about, oh, you can't just all put this on Coach Thibodeau. You can't. It's not on him, right? Maybe he just doesn't have the right talent. Well, clearly he has the right talent to score 68 points at the half and then shut it down. It just doesn't make sense how it doesn't work in the second half unless either Coach Thibs doesn't have an idea of what he needs to do.
No, we got to get back into this nonsense again. I'm so tired of this.
And this is the more important one, BT. These guys just aren't listening to him. I'm serious.
But why would they listen to him for 3 quarters? See, that's where you lose me here. When you have a 28-point lead and you do so many things well, and then you implode over the final 12 minutes, even though there was at the end of the third quarter as well.
Yeah, but we know why they're imploding, BT.
I understand that, but it doesn't mean that they're not listening. I think this is where you and I differ. You think it's not listening, or I just think that they're not structured the right way.
No, but BT,
there's no point guard on the team.
But forget the point guard for a second.
And in the fourth quarter in the NBA, when teams actually start to play defense, you need half-court execution.
Yes, but
they don't have a point guard.
Why are you consistently playing in the half court? That's my point.
So they're not a running team because they don't have a point.
What do you mean? They run the entire game.
They don't get fast breaks.
BT, the
Knicks are not a fast break team. Stop.
They're not. I'm not
they're
talking
one of the
about
slowest teams in the NBA.
I'm not talking about fast break. They pushed the ball in the first halves. They pushed the ball up court quickly.
Yeah, because teams aren't getting back, dude.
Great.
Because there's defensive indifference.
Okay,
now
great.
the game matters, and you got to score when butts get tight.
Okay, so
and they can't.
So what do you do then? So what do?
You just continue to suck.
So you just play in the half court and hope that Alec Burks on some pick and roll that's never going to work.
Alec Burks is the answer. I can't watch this guy play anymore.
I can't either because he gets into the paint and he can't make a layup. He can't make a paint shot. All right, he's shooting 30-something% from inside the paint, BT. It's gross. He's shooting better from 3-point range. I'd rather pull up and shoot 3-pointers and try to get into the paint on pick and rolls and try to score that way. Because it's the same way that they lost 2 nights ago. Just the same way that they lost last night. Exactly.
Because they don't have a point guard to set up the offense.
It's all the same stuff.
Well, we're agreeing with that. It is.
So who's that on? It's on
everybody. It's on Leon Rose. It's on Worldwide West. It's on Tom Thibodeau. I can't have this conversation until the end of the season. The only reason really because the Nets were involved, so it's both teams. But what else is there to extrapolate from this season?
Nothing.
They didn't make trades. They needed to. They suck. We're not happy. That's all.
But at what point does it become too much? At what point do the powers that be, whoever they are, because we assume it's Leon Rose and Worldwide West, but they're not commenting, or James Dolan.
They're hiding.
All right,
is really a better
at what point
way to
do the powers that be say, Thibs is great, but we know exactly where this is going to end because it's ended this way certain times and in previous stops before.
Now, listen. One thing that I know about my partner. There are many differences between you and I.
Yes.
How we present, just everything, we have a lot of similarities and a lot of core beliefs that we are both married to. And we meet in the middle of the road on those. But the main difference between that guy and this guy, the loud voice guy, is that I will just say it like, this guy's got to go.
Yeah.
You kind of... you're the kind of guy, you don't cannonball into the pool. You walk up, you stick your big toe. It's a little chilly.
I get on the diving board and get a nice felt, smooth entry into the water.
With the banana hammock problem, of course. It's the last thing that I would wear. This guy's rocking the banana hammock, and he's proud of it. I'd be wearing, board shorts and, hiding. I'd probably wear a T-shirt if they let me. But this guy does not jump right in the pool, all right? Until he does.
Yeah.
And when he jumps in the pool, it's a big splash. And this is now 5 days in a row. Not that we've led with the Knicks for 5 days in a row, although it feels like it. 5 days in a row that you have said, we go through the little dance, this, that, the point guard, defense, and there. You bring me right back to Tom Thibodeau.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask you again.
Yes.
And the most powerful radio station in the country.
Yes.
Okay? And we love our basketball. Stop hemming and hawing. Stop asking me, do you believe that Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired? Stop dancing.
I don't think he can coach this team. So the question is not whether he should be fired. The question is, when is he going to be fired? That's the question, BT. And when they're going to move on and realize that whether it's the talent or whether it's the guy's not listening, whether it's his lack of play calling ability, the mistakes, the lack of development of young players, what are you getting out of this team with Tom Thibodeau coaching the way that he's coaching? And exactly, you're getting nothing. So it's not it's not if, it's just when.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to happen today. You're not going to fire Tom Thibodeau today.
Could it happen, or should it happen by the end of the year?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I got you.
Now,
I got you.
Look, I'm not Worldwide West. I'm not Leon Rose.
Worldwide West hasn't done a damn thing.
I'm whatever. These are the guys in charge. I'm not James Dolan. But I don't know how you watch this team and see that the fan base is so increasingly frustrated with the same thing happening over and over. It'd be different if they were losing differently, right? It would be different if a team was just better than them and blew them out. But this Knicks team has played with the best, played better than some of the best teams in the league, and then they collapse. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you're good, you're good. If you're not good, you're not good. This team is good in moments, and then they crap the bed. It can't just be on the players. It can't be. And especially as you watch how these games end, you know it's not just on the players. So it's either the coach not putting them in the right positions or the players not listening to the coach. And either one of those is egregious enough that the coach can't be there anymore.
Live from Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, the Mecca. It's the patchwork compromised Brooklyn Nets against the sinking, listless, disjointed New York Knicks. Will the Knicks reverse their trend of an uninspired, perplexing, inefficient fourth quarter collapses? Will Toppin and Reddish play more than 10 minutes? Will Thibs remain stubborn as a mule? Knicks, Nets, next. God. There's nothing else to get excited about. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, 877-337-6666. Let's get Richie in Queens getting us going on this Thursday. Rich, Tiki, and Tierney, how are you today?
Oh, good, guys. At BT, that's excellent. That is excellent. And I'm so tired of seeing him give his post-game in his mask, and he's mumbling. You can't hear anything. I don't think he hears what he's saying. But to see that game...
That's on purpose, Rich, I think. I think that's on purpose, Richie.
He'd probably wear a helmet if he could at this point.
And Cam Thomas summed it up.
Yeah.
When he said that he knew that they were going to let him back in the game. And it's almost not impossible, because if you give up totally, you can, give up 30 points in 3 minutes. But it's, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
You're right there, Rich?
I'm all choked up over there.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Take a breath.
I almost died this morning in the studio, by the way. We'll tell you that story later. I actually almost choked to death in the studio, God forbid.
Yeah, and
Rich,
it's so difficult to do what they're doing. I mean, time-wise, you would think that.
That's right.
Coaching-wise, Teague, you touch on it. Run the clock a little bit. Play some pick and rolls. Play some plays that are gonna take. You've got an 11-point lead, 13-point lead in the fourth quarter, and I know 28 points is unbelievable, but not in the NBA anymore. The way they shoot threes.
Yeah.
But when you watch this team, there's no direction. Kenny Atkinson would have been the perfect fit for it. I said that initially.
I like
He's
Kenny.
a teacher. Yeah, and Thibs is a guy, give me a team that's veterans now, because he's going to wear them out. He's going to play them. He's not going to build up McBride. He's not going to make Grimes any better.
Well, McBride's down.
Toppin, he's burying.
Yeah,
it's an ugly, ugly situation.
Yeah,
there.
Rich, just like he buried Kevin Knox. I mean, listen, the story is what it is, and it's not pretty. Steve's in Westport, Connecticut. Steve is on the fan. What's happening, Steve?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
Nobody's talking about the elephant in the room. It's the players, it's the coach, it's the front office. But the bottom line is, what do you do when you have an apathetic when you have an owner? How do you get rid of an owner?
Well, Steve, Rangers pretty good. Rangers are good.
What's that?
Rangers are good.
I know, but he's got front office that deal with the Rangers. The fact that you haven't heard from Dolan about the Knicks, it's insane. The Giants had problems. The ownership got out there in front of it. Said we got to do better. It's like he's indifferent.
Well, maybe he's taking a different stance, right? Because for the last couple of years we actually have heard from him, and he's become the whipping boy in a sense. But now he's just kind of sitting back and maybe he's just taking a different approach.
I actually applaud James Dolan for sitting out.
I agree.
I mean, cut the checks and let the basketball people do what they have to do. And if the ultimate determination is made that the basketball people are not doing what they have to do, then you got to step in and fire them, period. 877-337-6666. Alex East Quag on the fan. What's up, Al?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yo.
I'm going to use last night's game as an example to easily answer your question about why they continue to collapse in the fourth.
Go ahead.
But I just want to point out one play that tells you how much of a phony Randall is. If after the game, the NBA puts up the highlight reel. You can go, and watch on YouTube the highlights of the game. The video that's up today, if you go to the 2:40 mark, which translates to 3:30 left in the second period.
Loose ball.
Randall comes down, gets the ball stripped from him at the foul line.
Yeah.
It actually goes to a net who's another 10 feet past him. Randall stands there with his full diaper arguing with his arms out, looking at the ref, while the net with the ball runs right by him. They go up and they do a fast break three-pointer. Randall never leaves the spot. And Jeff Van Gundy ripped him a new one on national TV.
Yeah.
So the next time Randall says, hey, I'm the leader of this team, and I have to take it upon myself to get everybody to give max effort, don't listen to him. Now, here's the answer to your question.
Go ahead.
And last night's game is a perfect example. When they're up by 28, they got the second team in, they got the bench in, they're running, they're moving. There's about half the quarter left in the second quarter. Thibs starts dribbling and drabbing his starters back in. He puts in Fournier. He puts in Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker throws a horrible pass. The Nets score a basket. They're down by 26. It's panic time. They're down by 26. He takes out. He brings the starters in. You don't think you can let the starters rest through a 26-point lead halfway through the second quarter and let them go through the entire halftime to get some rest? That's the reason why they stink in the fourth quarter, is because they are dead tired.
Alex, I want to tell you this, too, and I think that's a fairly astute point. I think that's an accurate observation. I did not know that it was at the 2:40 mark, but I saw multiple plays last night where, Julius Randle was just kind of looking around, loafing. There was two balls where they were loose, kind of 50-50-ish. He didn't really even make a move. He lost both of them. But I have never seen, I don't know, maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, Teague. I don't know, but I feel like every night that I watch the Knicks, which is every game, they have an inordinate amount of shots that either graze the front rim or air balls.
Or missed.
And that is
complete misses. There was a couple in the third quarter. Fournier shots. I mean, he looked sweet, getting himself open in between two nets. Just completely missed.
And what is that symbolic of? Heavy legs.
Yes. That's a great point.
I mean, so
hey, BT,
you're not wrong that last caller.
You know what the MO is for Tom Thibodeau.
Yep.
He runs his guys into the ground.
Tom Thibodeau, become a Knick. I'll run you into the ground and end your career. 877. I hate that we're begging on Thibs, man, but he's earned it. I hate that he's becoming a punchline or that he is the true direct source of real legitimate ire, but he's earned it. He has earned it. I hate that it's happening to him, but he deserves it. 877-337-6666.